Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Artisans. We were doing something yesterday. Oh, we're doing the polyomino ones. I see. Okay, what am I doing with this? I'm just going to color these differently. There's no way these two are part of the same omino, even though they're the same shape. Just to try and mentally think about this. There's no way that there's too many, or that like all of these need to be in here. Oh, all the shapes are those. Sorry, I totally missed. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I missed not one but two rules. I didn't notice that. Yeah, we have the mingle shape, so shapes of the same size can't touch, and we also have that every shape has to be one of these three. Okay, if that's going to be the case, if every shape has to be one of these three, then I want to color them by shape type. Okay. Okay. This red P pentomino needs to have a 2x2 in it. And I don't think there's any way to avoid having these two be part of that 2x2. Right, because like, this is either this is part of the 2x2, in which case it's all four of these, or this isn't part of the 2x2, in which case it touches the 2x2, in which case the 2x2 is over there. So I think that's always in, which I think locks this blue into place. And now remember, everything has to be part of something, so this now becomes part of that. Okay, we've got something here. Thing there. Oh, well, this cell's just purple. Recall, because it touches red and blue. I feel like my brain somehow has lost track of everything that I learned yesterday from doing this. This is blue. I see that I don't think this cell can be purple. It's a little weird, but if this cell is purple, then purple looks like that. And now I've got to somehow fill this with shapes from my shape bank, and I just can't. So that cell's not purple, and if that's true, that makes this cell blue, which locks in a staircase that looks like this. Locks in one of those. That locks in this to look like that. Yeah, now this has to be that. Let's see. Can certainly mark that this is part of a P pentomino. This is part of a staircase. And that staircase can't go down because that would be a staircase touching a staircase. So that actually locks this staircase into place, conveniently making that red. This is purple because it touches both things, and so the purple is going to have to look like that. This blue assuredly doesn't go this way, because if it did, it would keep going to that way, and then it would touch itself, so my blue looks like that, which makes this cell purple. Has to look like that. That cell's red. Okay, I've seen the solution. But let's make sure we carefully prove its solution. But the solution is that this is a P, this is a P, and then this is a staircase left over. So I think the thing to ask is, can this really be blue? And the answer is like, there's no way this is blue, because blue is sort of a 3 high and 3 wide thing, and there's no way that to get something 3 high that touches this cell. It would have to be like that staircase, but that staircase doesn't actually touch this. So this is red. And now we can ask if this cell can really be purple, which it can't, because if it was, it would be this purple, but that purple cuts off this red, as the thing is all too happy to tell us, which makes that red. And now this pair of reds basically has to be part of the 2x2, which then fixes that. And I think we can repeat pretty much the same argument over here to get to that these both have to be red. And so we get that, which then makes this over here my blue. Like that. I want the purples to be the lighter purple. There we go. There we go. I like that. Okay, what is a 6? We're gonna leave the 6 for later. Instead, I think I'm gonna come... Oh, I guess this one is higher than this one. So I guess maybe I should come this way into this one. Okay, so this is... Everything is size 5, and some of these are a prescribed sort of size 5. This is part of an F, and I can't make that also part of the F, because if I did, I would need to have one, it would need to be that, which doesn't work because it breaks. So, this is not, in other words, what I always keep calling the spine of the F, which forces that to be the spine of the F, which gives us that, and that lets us do that. Okay, these two now go together. So this is an L, but the L can't go up here because it would touch that, so the L looks like that. Okay, the 4 in a row that is part of this, if I look at it, it can't be horizontal, because if it was, this would have to either be part of it, in which case that would also be part of it, that would be bad, or this would be the tip, in which case it would be up here or down here, but both of those are certainly impossible. So the 4 in a row is vertical, and now this is either the tip, or it's just part of the 4 in a row itself, but it's definitely not the tip, because if it was, then we would include all of these cells for sure, and this cell would be isolated. So this is part of a 4 up here like this. That's assuredly not part of my Y, because it's part of the Z. This is assuredly not part of the Y either. And so this is a new color. So this is part of the Z. And now there's unfortunately a couple Z shapes that I think are plausible there. I don't even know if any of them have anything obviously in common. Maybe the easiest thing to argue actually is that this cell is part of the P over down here. This cell's definitely part of the P, because if not, it's part of the N, except this doesn't look like an N. So that's part of the P for sure. And now one of these two has to be part of a 2x2 square that's part of the P, because there's only one cell in a P that's not part of the 2x2 square. And so it's either this one, in which case it's that 2x2 square, in which both of them are part of the 2x2 square. Or it's this one, in which case it's that 2x2 square, but that one breaks over there. So in fact, actually, both of them are part of the 2x2 square, and it looks like that. Now, certainly that's not part of the P, because if it was, then this would be cut off. So that's my P. Lets me draw in my N here. And my N is either going to go up here or it's going to go up there. But that version isolates a cell. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, and so now this cell here... Oh, sorry, I've already done an orange. Wait, have I already done all the colors? Oh, I haven't done a teal yet. This cell here can't be part of the U. I just can't make a U. Oops. Can't be part of the U. I can't make a U with it, so it's part of the T. That T has to now go look like that, which locks in what our U looks like. Now we've got a V over here. Now the X is sort of shunted over into this area because of this taking up this space. This thing is a W, and so it's got to look like that. And now this has become part of the Z if I just look at how it connects. And so we can do that. And then we have our beautiful stained glass window. Is this one of each? 1, 2... How many cells is this? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, it's all 12. Okay. There's 12 total pentominoes that are possible, if I recall my number correctly. Let's see, that is a 3. This is a 1. Okay, so let's do the 1. Is this one going to be a new mechanic? No, we're just doing, we're mixing these. Okay, so these are both, in fact, actually, we can just do, those are all orange, these are both red, these are both blue, and remember that in an S, there's never more than 2 cells in a row. That cell can't be orange because I can't make an S, so in fact, my S is forced to look like that and like that. Which in this case pulls the blue up there like that. Pulls the red up here like that. Okay, so now I can look at this cell, which has to go at least that far. But if it took that cell, it would be an L touching an L, which is not allowed. So in fact, this one's an I. This one is just an S now. See, these 3 all go together. And now they can't touch that cell, or I'd have a T touching a T. So the only place they can go is there. Okay, and this now has to be an L, because if it were an I, it would isolate a cell up there. And now we've got our last I up here. Okay, really wish I could turn the camera. Oh yeah, interesting. There's a 5 sort of leading over down here as well. Okay, yeah, maybe I'm just gonna wipe up all of this, like, estuary between the puzzles. Okay, so all of these are the same, and all of these are the same, but this one is a, this one's an L, so therefore this one is not an L. And this one now is sort of forced up there, so that one is an L. Let's see, these 3 are all the same. It doesn't take that one. Oh, and it's not an I, because if it was an I, it would cut off these 2. So this is itself an L, so it should be ice colored. Okay, this certainly can't be an L, so this one's an S. And then we've got a square over here, which is going to be purple. sort of deep purple. I'd hang this in my window. Okay, we're gonna do this 5 over here, just to, Jesus. This thing is huge. Okay, let's mark off all of our size 1 pieces. Okay, I don't have a shape bank, but I do have the mingly bits. Okay, so we can draw in lots of sort of connections. Okay, let's see. Got a bunch of Z's floating around. All of those are Z's. Certainly that means this cell and this cell aren't Z's, and that one can't be part of a Z either. Because Z's don't have 4 cells in a row. And certainly, just to start drawing on things, all of this connects. So this 3 is not going to join this. And it's not going to join that either. Oh, sorry. No, that's not true. Sorry. But the point is, sorry, this thing touches a 3, so it's not a 3. And now it touches a 4, so it's not a 4 either. In that exact shape, I should say. So it grows to there at least. Which now has pinched this up here into that. We'll make those red. So that one is red. That one is red. Like that. That one is red and doesn't go down because of the red below it. This one touches a 1, so it's at least going to grow. And now it can't take this cell because, well, then it wouldn't be a 2. But it touches a 2, so it has to grow in some direction or another. Also, I see that I can draw in that border between these. We can do a same thing up here where this shape has to grow, but can't be a 2 because now it touches a 2. So it grows again, but now it can't be... Let me draw that slightly better. Now it can't be a 3 because it touches a 3. And so it grows again. It's certainly not going to be part of a domino, but also it can't take that cell because it's not going to be part of one of those. And so this grows. This is super cute. It's not going to take the W because it's already a W. It's certainly not taking the 3. Interestingly, if this grows one more, and it's touching that, which it might have to. I don't have a color for dominoes yet. We're going to make dominoes yellow. Oh, this does have to grow because it's touching a W. Sorry. So this does have to grow. And it's certainly not taking that or that. And it has to grow again because it's touching that. So we grow like that. Okay, they had a lot of fun with this, clearly. S's can be light blue. Make that an S. Okay, this is a W. That is a red. This red can't take this cell because if it does, then it isolates a cell next to a 1. So this red has to look like that. Somewhat weirdly. This cell, this weirdo thing, could go 1 this way. I don't know if it does, but it can't go 2 that way because there aren't 3 in a row in this shape anywhere. So this is actually forced back like that, at least that far. That does extend this red out, but the red therefore can't take that cell. So the orange does, which actually finishes it. This thing certainly doesn't take this, so this looks like that. This, remember, grows. Oops. Oops. Okay, these could join. I don't know yet. I see that this green can't grow up, because if it does, it would need to go one of these two directions, and it can't go that one because it's the wrong shape, and it can't go that one because it would touch another green. The green going down is less clear to me that it is somehow fundamentally broken. Oh, I see. There's some... If I actually color these dominoes all in yellow, there's a thing up there that I have missed. Oh, also I've missed that these are green. So these don't connect either. And these... Oops. These don't connect either. Which I think actually forces what Z... this is, doesn't it? But I'll come back to that. The thing I saw is that makes these yellows can't touch, so that actually forces these two yellows. And now we've got, once again, our thing that's growing out of here that now forces this yellow up, because it's certainly not part of the yellow. It's certainly not part of the 3. And so we get to continue the same game of this extends over here. I'm certainly not good at remembering to change to the pen tool. Assuredly, this is not connecting here, but it's also not connecting to the F, because there's no way I'm making this into an F. So this grows again. Okay, now the really funny thing is this can't go up or down, because then it would be finished, but it would be touching the same thing again, which is delightful. Because if this goes up, it's now an L. It's done, but it's touching an L. So in fact, this can't go up or down. It has to keep going. And now this is a 5 long I, so I can't do that, can't do that. Sorry, can't do that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have to start reusing colors a little bit, unfortunately. So there's a 3. Here is a 4 of various sorts. Okay. I did want to look at this Z again. So this Z is now sort of stuck. It needs to get out of this thing. So certainly this needs to be the long part of the Z, because if this isn't the long part of the Z goes off the end of the grid. And now once that's the long part of the Z, we see that the Z ends up looking like this, which now in order to grow this Z needs to go this way, and this needs to be the long part of the Z, so we get that. So this doesn't grow that way, at the very least. Got some dominoes over there. Got another 3 piece over here. Oh, this Z is kind of interesting, because this Z... Basically, this has to be the long side of the Z again, because if it's not, this has to be the long side of the Z, and it would touch green again. And now it can't go that way, so it has to look like that. And now I regret having chosen that color for this. We're going to have to choose a different color for you. Make you dark blue so that I can make you yellow. You yellow. This one, notably, I don't know much about. You're yellow, you're yellow. This red... well, the red always goes up at least one, but the red can't go up, can't go over here, because then I've stranded 2 cells next to a domino that I can neither put together nor separate. So I don't do that. So I do that instead. And now this is impossible to separate because I'd have to break it into 1s and 2s. But 2 of the cells in it can't be part of a 2, so I'd have to break it into 1s, but then I've got 1s next to 1s, and that doesn't work. So this is just a 3x1. This is also a 3x1, and it doesn't go all the way this way, because again, this would create the problem that it couldn't be a 2 and it couldn't be 2 1s. So it goes at least 1 that way. Okay, this F here has got to grow at least like that, and we have no choice. This F, in fact, I think actually has to grow in both directions, because if it doesn't grow, if it doesn't take this cell, it's definitely a W. And now I can't take any of these cells without being a different shape, and I can't take that cell, so it just does that, which means this does that, which means this up here is red. Let's see, this is part of a long L. Can't take that cell because it's part of a long L. So now we've got that. Okay, so that now forces what my W up here looks like. This is not part of the long L, so that is. We can mark our 2 purple things. Recall that this has to keep growing. And this is now part of an I. Like that. This has not grown there. So now this thing that's now part of an L, we now know what it looks like. Has to look like that. This cell now joins this oddball. Piece over here. Okay, while I'm doing things, that's definitely not green, because if it was, this green can't grow anymore. So if that's not green, then that is, which finishes this green over here. Lets me throw in a yellow there. This is slightly mysterious to me. Okay. This piece over here is the point. This grows, and it's not a domino, so therefore it grows up, and we've got another of our weird shapes is done. Man, this really stretches the amount of colors that there are, doesn't it? Okay, so this can be green. Okay, so this yellow is done. That makes this yellow be done. These 3 are all forced to be together, and... Uh-oh, I broke it. Where did I break it? Oh, everything entered so far is correct. Oh, I see. This doesn't have to be of size bigger than 1. This has to be of size bigger than 1. Oops. And it it even could take this cell. Sorry, I was going to say it certainly can't take that cell. But what it certainly can't take is this cell. Because if it takes this cell, now it is forced to be one of those bendy boys touching a bendy boy. Okay, so that can go down, because that can be a domino. That's fine. Okay. if this cell isn't blue, I can't make this a part of a T. So that actually forces the red to look like that, which then forces this T to look like this. Now that forces this shape to look like this, because remember, this needed to grow. We just didn't know where it had to grow to, but now we know where it has to grow, because otherwise it would be a 3x1. We probably have known actually for some time where it had to grow to. Oh, this needs to grow because it's touching a domino. And so therefore, it actually just becomes a length 3 thing. Oh, sorry, it becomes a length 4 thing because I can count. I had been thinking that was a 3x1 the whole time. So that makes that a purple, and that makes this yellow. And there we go. All right. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Artisans, the estuary episode, if you will, where we've sort of been trying to find all the little interplay between these two different areas. We'll work next time on getting deeper into this new area that we've just started dipping our toe in. And I will have to see you next time. So bye for now.